This is my entry into Chefcoop69 Cooper 100 sub contest. If you haven't checked out Chef Coop, suggest you do so. I'll leave a link in the description. It has like 15 or so tanks, pretty much every aquarium fish that you could possibly have. Does unboxings, walkthroughs, I mean, you name it, pretty much he does a video on it. So really interesting stuff, and his contest is actually probably the most interesting contest I've ever been a part of. And it's as simple as it gets, just tell you a little bit about yourself. I mean, through these contests I've learned quite a bit about a lot of different people, so it's pretty cool. So I'll start with mine. I was originally from Jamestown, Pennsylvania. I lived there, graduated there in '95, lived there until about 2000, moved here to Michigan in 2000. I've been living here since. Married for 14 years, have 3 daughters, Grace, Jillian, and Adriana, 13, 10, and 5. You actually can see those guys on the vacation videos that I just did. I work at Lowe's Home Improvement. I've been there for 15 years now, which actually today's my 15th year anniversary, so it's been a long time, a lot of changes, over the course of retail in the past 15 years. So it's pretty crazy, but I guess I like it enough to stay there. So I guess that's more of the personal side. I guess as far as fish keeping goes, I actually have a funny story. Back when I was about 4 or 5 years old, I actually had a fish tank fall on my face. I only say it's funny because I walked away unscathed, but well, with a scar. But basically what happened is my mom was doing a water change. It was one of those old black wrought iron stands. My younger sister, she shimmied across it, no problem. So then I jump on it, and when I got about halfway, I obviously weigh a little bit more than her, and the whole thing tipped over. Fish tank, broke in my face. Let's see if I can spin this around. I have a scar like right here, if you can see it or not, hopefully. But I'll show you a baby picture here, this right here. So it was obviously a lot worse when I was a lot younger. You can barely see it now, but so I guess I've been scarred by fish for since I was a little guy. Pretty much had fish when I was the 16, 17 years old. Always like the bala sharks and Oscars and stuff like that I've had. Pretty much after I graduated, I got into it a little bit more, had a couple tanks, had a 55-gallon tank. Now granted, this was back in the early mid-90s, so the information wasn't nearly as good, so obviously the way I was keeping them wasn't probably the most advantageous, but I had 2 Oscars and an albino Oscar, a tiger Oscar, and a albino catfish, all in the 55-gallon tank. They had grown at that point. I would say they were probably the size of, maybe a little bit bigger than this guy actually, though. So probably 7-8 inches each one. We would feed them pretty much anything and everything: earthworms, beetles, ants. They would actually eat it right out of your hand. It was pretty cool. Right before I got rid of them, I actually got into feeding them feeder fish, which that was the first time I've ever done it. Never done it since, but it would be pretty cool to dump in some feeders. And we actually had the catfish would have 4 or 5 feeders in his mouth at one time, just like gobbling them up. After that, that's I sold the fish, moved here. Kind of had them on and off until it had been about 2 years ago now. I started thinking about wanting to get back into it. We actually had an angel tank in that in Jillian's old 46. We had like 3 angels and stuff. They lived for quite some time, a couple years. They finally died. So I shut the tank down. Like I said, I wanted to get back into it, so I started researching different stuff. Started looking at some of these really awesome African cichlid tanks, and that's the direction I went. However, staying true to my roots, I still have the Central American tank. I don't show this one, nearly as much as I should, but you got a little bit of aggression there. But you know, this is one of my favorite tanks. You know, very peaceful for the most part, other than fire mouth here. But I kind of like to watch it. You know, obviously a little bit bigger fish swimming around. The pair's eyes come a long way. So, but that's about my story, guys. You know, like I said, this is one of the really good videos, or really good contests. I'm sorry, to enter. It's been a pleasure learning about everybody. So, you know, good job, Chef Coop. I'm sure 200 is pretty close. I think you're right around 135 or so right now. So, gained quite a few subscribers in a short period of time with these contests. So, keep up the good work, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and remember, they're just stupid fish videos.